All right, so it's a new Mortal Kombat, which isn't really, it's not a new Mortal Kombat. It's Mortal Kombat DLC / Mortal Kombat 11 has come to the PS5, not a PS4 version for the PS5, but a PS5 version of Mortal Kombat 11 called Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate. And just to cover my bases, again, they sent me a download code for the game, but then I realized that if you put in your PS4 disc into your PS5, you get a free PS5 upgrade for the game and all your content. It all transfers over, not as a PS4 version, but the PS5 version. In which case, me getting Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate for PS5 was no longer a full price game, but it was a $15 DLC buy. So I went ahead and bought the DLC, gave the code to my friend and said, here you go, happy gaming. But in case I just need to tell you they gave me a code, they did. I hope my friend's having fun with it. All right, so base is covered, so now we talk about Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, which for PS5, we're gonna talk about some obvious things there are to talk about. Better load times. The easy way to see the fast load times is when you highlight the character. In PS4 version, it was like, highlight the character, okay, taking a second. All right, there you go. There's the skin that you have for the character. PS5 version, much faster, much more instantaneous to see the version of the character you actually have. Also, load times into the matches, much faster, much improved. And the 4K resolution. For me, an easy way to see the higher resolution is in the Deadpool stage fatality. In the PS4 version, the Deadpool fatality, the steam coming off of the skeleton, it made it look really pixelated. It was like everything else around the skeleton was high def, but the skeleton through the steam, it's like it bumped down to low res or something. But on the PS5, it doesn't do that. It's much more detailed. It was an easy way for me to see that. I mean, I export my videos in 1080, so I imagine this video's not doing it justice, but trust me, when you're there, it's noticeable. But MK11 Ultimate is ultimately a new DLC pack with 3 more characters. No, you don't have a new story that comes along with it like Mortal Kombat Aftermath, so you don't get a circular story that ends up exactly where it started, leading basically exactly to fuck all. Well, I mean, if you're buying the $60 MK11 Ultimate game and you haven't bought any of the Mortal Kombat 11 DLC that came before it, it does come with all that DLC. But if you've kept up on the Mortal Kombat DLC that has come out thus far, the new content you're going to be rocking is the addition of 3 new characters. One, Rain, which I guess is a fan favorite. I've never been a Rain person personally. I don't know why. You know those characters in fighting games, you're like, people love them. I just don't really play as him. The big win for me is Melina. Melina is back. Also showing, once again, that when characters die in a Mortal Kombat game, it doesn't matter. They're not dead. They'll come back. But I'm always impressed with the fact that she never plays exactly the same. Like Mortal Kombat 9, X, 11. She does play differently. Her combos are different, though they have the same flavor to them. Point is, she's vicious, ferocious, feral, and brutal. And I just love her to death. With her character, in the case of most Mortal Kombat characters, there's always one fatality I prefer to the other. Yeah, there's one fatality where she turns into a spinning ball of size and burns through the person. I like the end pose she does, but that fatality as a whole doesn't hold a candle to the one where she rips open the opponent's abdomen, reaches up through their abdomen, and the fingers come out the face. She grips the face and she rips the face down through the guts, and she's holding the face, and they die. See that? There's showmanship there. That one's very creative. That's what I love in my fatalities, brutal and creative, and I love that one. And this time around we have Sylvester Stallone as himself, or as the Johnny Cage voice announcer so eloquently puts it,
John fucking Rambo.
You said it, buddy. John Rambo is in Mortal Kombat 11, voiced by Sylvester Stallone. Now, it's been apparent for a while. Ed Boon, the crew at NetherRealm, they're big movie nerds. Like, the movie references in Mortal Kombat, they've been around for a while, and sometimes they're really obvious, sometimes they're deep cuts. You're like, did they just wow. But it's exponentially grown as they've had more movie characters in Mortal Kombat games. The fact that they got Sylvester Stallone as John Rambo, Peter Weller as RoboCop, Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa as Shang Tsung, and Keith David as Spawn. You feel the movie love there. You can tell they were like, we have to get them to voice them. Which also makes the fact that Arnold Schwarzenegger does not voice the Terminator stick out like a sore living tissue over metal endoskeleton thumb. I mean, it's an impersonation. It's not a bad one. You can tell that's the voice they're going for, but it still sounds like an impersonation.
You have been reprogrammed to protect John Connor from you. He will be terminated.
Wait, why am I the bad guy? It feels different than the other characters who are voiced by the ones who played them in the movies or voiced them in the animation per Spawn. And actually adding this little tidbit right now as this video was exporting, I was about to upload it. I just found out that there's a Mortal Kombat movie skin pack for Mortal Kombat 11 featuring Bridget Wilson as Sonya, Lyndon Ashby as Johnny Cage, and Christopher Lambert as Raiden.
Then this fight is now personal.
Which is pretty sweet. It's a few extra bucks, so I would have liked that to have been a part of the whole $15 DLC, because now it's 20. But it does speak to the fact that, like I said, movie nerds. And the intro dialogues are so fun. The fact that you see and hear John Rambo reference Shao Kahn as Shao Kahn, he says his name. Like, that's next level. You're like, John Rambo's in Mortal Kombat. But if we're talking intro dialogue, Spawn and RoboCop, amazing.
Bad language makes for bad feelings.
Perfect. You're about to feel real bad, motherfucker.
Too good. The problem with MK11 Ultimate on PS5, I don't know if it's a PS5 thing or an MK11 Ultimate thing that's just across the board, but it's definitely the problem I was having, was the connectivity. I mean, you can get into the Towers of Time just fine. You can do a casual versus match just fine. But getting into King of the Hill was a bit of a pain in the ass, though eventually I was able to do it, and so was my friend. I was like, hey, can you try these things out? And he did, same as me. He finally got into King of the Hill, but in terms of Towers of Time, those group raid towers where you have to team up with 2 other people, those suck. You're either there waiting for it to connect with a couple other people forever and it just never does it, or you finally connect with one other person but not a second person, so it's just 2 people taking on the enemy, not 3. I was actually talking with this dude online. He and I teamed up. We're like, all right, I guess we'll 2-man raid it. And I guess he was new to Mortal Kombat 11 because he was like, I didn't know there was supposed to be a 3rd person. I thought it was just 2. I was like, no, that big blank spot under us, that's for another human. So yeah, it either just waits forever and connects to nothing, or connects to one other person. I will say it's rare. I won't say it never happens, because it did connect to 2 other people once. Tried many times because I wanted to get that trophy where you have to team up with 2 other people. Finally connected to 2 other people. Only happened once. Never happened before. Hasn't happened since. Again, I don't know if it's an issue with the crossplay or just PS5. I had my friend test it out. He also has a PS5 and he had the same problems I had. So yeah, there's that. That's a pain, and it kind of compromises the whole fundamental element of Mortal Kombat. And that talk of trophies brings me to trophy talk, in which if you have the PS5 version of Mortal Kombat 11 and you've gotten your platinum before, you've gotten all your trophies in the PS4 version, you can now get all those trophies again for the PS5 version. New set of trophies. I mean, same trophies, but you can just get them again. And I was curious about that. All your content transfers over from your PS4 version, so it was like, does it not know I did the story mode? Does it not know how many chests I've opened up? And it does give you a bit of a bump. It gives you a boost. It helps you out. That's to say, it apparently knows what you have and haven't done, so instead of opening a couple hundred chests in the crypt or whatever you had to do, I just had to open one, and it was like, great, here's your trophy for opening up all those chests. So sometimes you get a bump like that where you just have to do one thing instead of the whole group of things. Not for everything. Like, I still had to go through the classic tower with 10 characters, still did that. Still had to fight 50 online versus matches. Luckily, those did connect just fine, so I did that. Also, story mode, all the chapters were unlocked and marked as completed, so I just did the last chapter in which, you know, Liu Kang, you fight Kronika, and it was like, great, here you go, thanks for doing half the story. Also, here's for doing 100% of the story. Good on you. When all I did was just the last chapter. Still have to do 100 consumables in the Towers of Time. So it's just some things it helps you out with, some things it's like, nah, you just got to do that again. Point is, getting a plat after you've already gotten a plat is comparatively a walk in the park to what you did before. Point is, this Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate Pack, it did what Mortal Kombat 11 packs have always done for me. Which is, I get the pack, I play it, I play all the new stuff, then I'm there for hours, days, and weeks just playing the rest of the stuff, replaying it, doing Towers of Time, playing online or trying to play online. They've gotten a lot better at making the costumes unique. I was like, yeah, I could go for unlocking all of Spawn's shit. Because there are some characters where you're like, all right, Kung Lao's medallion, I'm never gonna lock in on that while the fight's going down. I'll never even know that it's a different medallion. Whereas Spawn, his different costumes make him look fundamentally different. You can have some really cool, unique looking Spawn builds in here. Also rocking some new costumes that I don't think were out before this. Might have been, but like I put Mortal Kombat 11 down for a while until recently. Point is, gotta love those Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 Lady Ninja skins, because Scarlet, am I right?
You clearly have a type.
It's true. I do. The big win for me, the big surprise, was the fact that they gave that free upgrade from PS4 to PS5 if you have the PS4 version. And in a world where I was expecting to drop $60 on 3 new characters, but it's $60 because it's the PS5 version, so there is that. But I ended up only having to drop 15 because of the free upgrade. That really feels like a win, and it's something they didn't have to do. It was really cool that they did. The rule of contrast there just keeps me from bitching too much, because there's always that eye roll factor when it comes to DLC for me, where I'm like, 15 more bucks, alright, fine. But this is worth 15 bucks, and that upgrade that you get between PS4 and PS5 versions, instead of being like, 15 more bucks, I was just there going, oh wow, saved 45, awesome. And yeah, I'm having fun with Mortal Kombat 11. Again, I thought we were done, you know? It's like Mortal Kombat 11's kind of the gift that keeps on giving for a price, so it's the gift that you keep buying. The point is, it's like, oh hey, we're done with Mortal Kombat DLC. You know, the past would speak to the present and the fact that we're done, and nope, here's another. At this point, I don't know if they're gonna have another one, but the roster is actually a lot of fun. It's a great roster of characters, and I'm personally not ready for Mortal Kombat 11 to be done and move on to the next thing that NetherRealm might do. All right, so Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, have you played it? What do you think about it? Are you having the connectivity issues that I'm having? Are you enjoying the content? Most importantly, are you having fun with it? Whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.